Part 2, Episode 246.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Wendy. Welcome to the show, if you're new. And if you're a return viewer, welcome back.
Welcome back. A couple of shout-outs for the knit-alongs. We are doing a Blue Moon knit-along through the year.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we will pick a winner for the month of March. Oh no, wait a minute. Today's April 1st. Whoopsie! Let me get right on that.
So Sheila will be right now picking a winner for
I forgot about
April
that.
1st.
I wasn't even thinking.
And I'll tell you about the other stuff while she does that. We also have a knit-along using variegated yarn. And that will wrap up at the end of April, and we will draw a winner the first episode that we record in May. So we have that going on. The other thing that we have going on is two weeks ago we reviewed a PDF book from Dragonfly Fibers called Masterpiece Knits. And during the gossip and innuendo portion of this show, we're going to be announcing a winner of that. We've already drawn that winner we remembered to do.
I don't know what I was thinking.
So we have that coming up. So stay tuned to the end of the show. So I'm just going to go ahead and start while Sheila's doing that on the dance card. As you know, if you watched last week's episode, I finally finished my Jack socks. So I cast on a design that I'm working on. This is in Diabolical Targi sock in the Catatomic watercolor stripes. It's so pretty. It's a pretty good representation right here, but it's even prettier in person. And I am doing a special slip stitch design on it. I talked with Rachel about it last night, and we came up with a name. This is the Atomic Blender sock, based on Catatomic and how the stitches are getting blended by the slip stitch pattern. So that'll be out when this pair of socks is finished and I can photograph it. I've already done the pattern. The pattern's all ready to go.
Oh, good.
I just have to knit the samples. So keep an eye out for that. And I'm really enjoying this pattern. Is so simple. Once you get the base like 5 pattern rows down, you can see quite easily what you're supposed to do. So it's actually a pretty relaxing knit, and I've cruised on it since I cast it on. And it's fun to see what the slip stitches do to your yarn too.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of fun to look at it. So I'm excited for it. Rachel did mention to me it can take, she doesn't always have these watercolor stripes available in her store. And the reason is she needs some kind of a winder. So it can be like 6 weeks in between availability. So like if there was some in the store last week, it could be like 5 more weeks before she has enough dyed up to put it in the store. So keep that in mind. She doesn't know. I told her she's going to have to step it up. But she's a one-woman business, and she needs to maybe try to invest in more equipment. I think I put a stitch on the wrong, I had dropped a stitch, and now I'm not sure where it goes. I'll have to figure that out later. So anyway, that's that. Also, I finally ripped out Indigo fiber, or Indigo Frost.
Oh, all right.
And I knit some of it back.
Oh, good.
I did realize, I found where the mistake was. I had dropped an eyelet, so there was a knit 2 together with no eyelet. So I had decreased by a stitch, and then that threw everything off. So I fixed that, and then I did the increase row, and then I checked it, and I realized that I should have knit a little bit more before I did the increase row. So it's a little wider, a little earlier, and I was like, I don't really care about that. So here it is, and I'm going to work on that because I have to figure out what I don't want to mess up this sock. That would be a pain in the butt. So this, I already told you what that was in. This is in Dream and Color Classy in the in Vino Veritas colorway. And I'm finally back on target. And I'm almost done with the second ball of yarn. So.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's all I have actively on the dance card that I worked on this week.
All right, actively that I have currently on the dance card is a vanilla sock toe up. It's using Blue Moon Fiber Arts Heavyweight. And I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't remember how I got this skein of yarn. But it was kind of flesh tone. It actually doesn't look so bad.
I think that might have come in, I think you got that in a grab bag.
Yeah, I think it was.
Because I kind of remember
it.
We you and Lois got a bad grab bag.
Each one of us got one skein that was bad. Knit Up, it's actually not so bad. I mean, it's a generic brown sock. It's heavyweight. I'm using size 3. And I cast on, I think, I did toe up, and I increased to 48 stitches. I looked at a worsted weight sock, and I did that to 54, but this fits, so I'm not sure what I might have done wrong or not, or I'm really going to hate this. So it's just, like I said, generic. I wanted something mindless. I was at a couple of offsites, and I'm going to knit a little bit longer and then probably just do a ribbing and call it a day. Really quick, though, I did most of this one day at an offsite, and that's drawing bloods. It was not a quiet offsite. It was, a steady offsite.
I love knitting with fat yarn.
So this gives me hope because I have, I think, 2 other skeins that are variegated. I have one that reminds me of like Knitters Without Borders. Mm-hmm. It's also a mill end, and then somebody had given me Jingle Balls.
Yeah.
So
I think I gave you Jingle Balls.
No, a viewer I think gave me Jingle Balls.
I know
you
I
gave
gave
me
you
something.
A Christmas
yeah,
one.
But that was medium weight. And I think I knit you around Lotus.
Oh, yeah.
So this is heavyweight, but it's like, so I may go up to 50 stitches because I like mine a little bit looser, especially if this is not something I'd probably wear to work. Right. Probably more of a house sock or, boots. But that's all I have actively on the needles. I really like it. It's a little tough with the toe because you got to force it. But
yeah.
I don't know. It's not super stiff, but
no, it's thick, but
it's not stiff. It's not any different than I'd say a worsted weight. It's considered a light worsted, but not any different than a worsted weight. I don't think it. The only thing is it doesn't have the sponginess to a lot of worsted weight. This is a 4-ply, so there's not much sponginess.
Right, it's more compact.
Yeah.
Rate your date. I don't have any dates to rate.
I have 2. I have 2 dates to rate. So the first one I started last week. It was a super stretchy baby hat by Julie Tarsha. Thule. I did this out of Plymouth yarn red. Super stretchy. It is super, super stretchy. It's on size 3 needles, so I had to finish this before I started my sock. They called for the German twisted cast on, and I looked at a couple. I was at an offsite when I was doing this.
Oscar. We've knocked him off the table like 6 times today already.
I looked at the video, and I was at an offsite, so I really couldn't figure out how to do it, so I just cast on over 2 needles.
Yeah.
And it's super stretchy with a little I-cord top.
Yeah.
It's really cute. And this baby, I'm knitting it for a coworker, does not know the gender, so I picked red. And somebody brought it to my attention that it would look good for Christmas, too. And I'm like, all right.
When does the baby due?
September.
Christmas? Well, that's good, too.
So then after that, because I had a whole skein left, I knit 2 little pairs of socks.
Do you know the pattern?
I do. I was good. I wrote down.
Excellent.
It is Crafty Toes by Judy Kaether. Kaether.
Judy.
I believe it's a free pattern. I wouldn't have paid for it. It's a very little known pattern, but I cast on 40 stitches because I'm typically a tight knitter. This is 1.5. She actually called for size 1 needles. I use 1.5, 40 stitches. It looks really, the foot I think might be a tad bit too long, but they'll grow into it.
And if they're fat feet, it'll take up.
This is also stretchy.
Oh, yeah.
It's also stretchy, and it's super long. And the reason it looks kind of cute like that, too. The reason it's long is because when you fold it over, it will help keep the sock on, and then, she can use it either for doll's clothes, because she does have a little girl, or at this point, you could use it for an ornament. It's so teeny.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So it's a little matching set, and that's all she's getting from me, and I think that's honestly
a very nice gift.
It is a nice gift. Usually they throw, I think, baby showers. I don't know. I haven't really had anyone with a baby at my work yet that anyone cared enough to do anything for. It's probably a way of saying it. This one's in the lab tech, so I'm sure they'll do something for her. Maybe. I don't know. If not, closer to the due date, I'll just give it to her. Yeah. She'll appreciate it. I know she will. So those are done, and they're super cute. I don't know if you did this. Did you do this sock for?
I did one very similar to it.
It might be your, because I looked at yours, because I didn't want to do the booty, because
It might be because I did them for my niece, my baby niece.
So I looked at this, and I thought it was a cute little sock. Oh, they did a gusset. I didn't do a gusset. I did the fish lips conceal on this thing. I'm not doing a gusset on a baby sock.
I probably did too, knowing me.
It's like I said, it's super stretchy. It'll go a good distance.
Yeah, those are so cute.
And it's not like they gotta wear it to step on.
Right.
But if I have another baby coming up, I would definitely do this, because I started this on Friday and I got 2 projects done within a week.
Yeah.
So, and I still have this much yarn left.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's all I have for Rate Your Date.
There are no whirlwind romances. I will say that I did a scrapbook layout, and it was picked for layout of the week contest on my website that I belong to. But I am not winning.
Oh, what did people vote?
Yeah, they pick. People have to nominate one. Some lady nominated one of my things.
Oh, cool.
And I'm like third. There's like 10 layouts, so I'm not doing bad. But it was nice to have somebody think that they liked my layout. Worthy. And I'm going to show it to you before you go home, because it's of your kids and my kids, actually, from Zach's birthday party in 2012.
Oh, really? So that would have been 9 years old. Wow.
And it's a cute layout. You'll see, I themed it around Zach, and you'll see when I show it to you why it's really cute. Cool. So, but yeah, people just really liked it. It's really colorful. It's like rainbow colored. It's really cheerful, joyful.
Perfect colors.
Yeah. So, that's what I have been doing, mostly doing that. They had a little competition where you had to find Easter eggs hidden on their website to win something.
Oh, yeah.
So my friend Diane and I were like texting each other, "Did you look? I'm looking here." We got them all finally. But that was my side activity last week.
Oh, good.
Future dates. I don't have any future dates planned, because I really want to get that sock pattern finished up. I want to get it knit up so I can take photographs and put them in my pattern and get that out. So I don't really have anything.
Future dates for me, I've come to realize I want to do a self-striping sock. Trying to do at least one. What I've been doing lately, if anyone's been watching or if you're new, I've been knitting one blue moon, one regular, one blue moon, one regular, or a project in between. So this is my blue moon sock, and the rate I'm going, it's going to go quick, hopefully, knock on wood. The next one, I have a yellow self-striping sock. So kind of where it's spring.
Yeah.
I like to try and do yellow. All shades of yellow, I think. I got to look at it better. But I definitely am in the mood for self-striping. Probably won't do anything with it, but boring old vanilla for me. But that's what I want to do. Other than that, I have nothing else
on there. Baubles and Bling. I have no Baubles and Bling this week. Did you bring yours?
I forgot. The reason I forgot is because, for one thing, I wasn't thinking it was the end of the month, because I didn't bring anything with me. And because I've only had small knitting projects, I've just been bringing my knitting bags. And we're not drawing anything major. Like, the Blue Moon is a pattern of your choice.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have to bring anything with me. So I will, when I get home today, I will put that item in my knitting bag and try and remember to bring it. I haven't even been bringing my iPad.
No.
Which I sometimes do. So I've been traveling light lately. I really like it.
Let's see. Curses and heartbreaks. Well, today, since this recording is going quickly, I thought I would talk a little bit more about the program that I'm doing at Mass General Hospital. So I started in November, and what they make you do, it's a medical weight loss program, and you can either do a medically supported with a nutritionist and a doctor diet.
Which is basically what I'm doing with the different
You can take medications and have a medically supported diet. So it's the nutritionist, the doctor, and you take a weight loss, a medication that can assist with weight loss. It's not like the old days when they used to take speed. A lot of times these are drugs that are for other things that they've determined assist in resetting your weight loss, the baseline weight. And then the third option is weight loss surgery, and they do two different kinds at Mass General Hospital. They do bariatric sleeve or gastric sleeve, and Roux-en-Y, which is like the little pouch that they make where they do that's the bypass, when they bypass from the top of your stomach and they attach it to the top of your intestine, like they bypass
your stomach.
The major part of the stomach. They pouch off a little bit and they connect it to the other thing. Gastric sleeve is when they take off the most of your stomach and they just make your stomach really small and narrow so that you can.
So basically they take the heel of your stomach.
Basically they just slice it off. So I've been in that program, and the reason I went in that program is that I have been trying to lose weight with very little success, and I have a lot of medical issues that are affected by how heavy I am. And I finally went to my doctor in September and I told him I need help. I didn't know what he was going to say. I figured he'd probably give me some weight loss medication because there are some really good stuff out there. Weight loss has really changed since the 70s and 80s. They have some really good therapies out there if you are willing to try medication. Some people don't want to be on a medication. But it's very different. And he told me about the Weight Center, and he recommended to me that I get weight loss surgery. And until that time, I had no idea that I would even qualify for weight loss surgery because I thought you had to be really, really heavy, like 500 pounds.
Right.
Like on those shows,
right.
My 600-pound life. And my doctor is extremely conservative, and he admitted to me if I had come to him 5 years ago, he would have told me to diet and exercise. But the Weight Center at Mass General, and they have them at a lot of other hospitals too, but I only know specifically about this one, has really improved in their research and everything. So for the last 6 months, I have been going through an evaluation process that they do for every patient. You have to meet with a doctor. You have to meet with a psychologist. You have to meet with a nutritionist. You have to follow a diet plan. And they meet together in a group after you have these meetings, and they decide what the best options are for you. And you're given options. You can opt to just do a diet with a nutritionist. You can opt to do medication weight loss assistance, So that's going to be a diet and that. Or you can opt for the weight loss surgery. And they recommended weight loss surgery for me in, I think it was December.
It was around there, yeah.
December or January is what they recommended for me. And my husband and I did a ton of research because my husband's a scientist. And at first he was like, I don't think you can do that. And I was like, I don't know, that's what they're saying I should do. So we looked into it, and I decided I wanted to do gastric sleeve because it's for smaller people who have less heavy weight loss to go through. Not that I still have to lose a lot of weight, but for people who are not
600 pounds.
600 pounds, yeah. People who are heavier tend to do better with Roux-en-Y. People who are still active and don't have quite as far to go can be very successful with gastric sleeve. It has fewer complications because it's one cut instead of the bypass thing. But the downside of it is if you were ever going to try to reverse it, and I don't know if people ever have reversed their surgeries, they are taking my stomach out. So I cannot reverse it. My stomach is going to be small like this for the rest of my life. And I got approved last month, finally, after going through more nutritionist appointments and everything and a lot of trouble. I met with the surgeon and I got final approval from my insurance company. So I am having that surgery in May. And I have hesitated to mention it before. So that's my crush. My crush is that this process is happening. With the work that I've been doing with the nutritionist, I've lost 16 pounds. But it's taken me 6 months to lose 16 pounds. I found out a lot of stuff about my weight loss. I found out that I take a medication that actually retards weight loss, and I've been taking it since 2001. So that is why it has always been difficult for me. I really need to run or do heavy exercise and diet in order for me to lose weight consistently.
On that medication.
And I'm too old. My joints are too old now, especially after my knee surgery, for me to really be like that the way I used to be like 5 years ago. So that's an issue. I'm in medical menopause. Like I take a medication that forces menopause. That has made it more difficult for me. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and they test you they do a full blood work on you too to make sure you don't have prediabetes, to make sure you don't have other issues. And based on all that information, that's what they use to decide what you're going to do. So I'm doing it. I'm excited about it because it's going to be a big life change, and I have been working really hard I've learned how to cook some things I don't cook, but I've learned how to make like chicken breasts, and I've learned how to make a bunch of vegetable dishes, and I've been experimenting with that. And my diet right now, I eat 5 times a day, small meals 5 times a day to train myself, because once I have the surgery, the portion of my stomach that makes ghrelin, which makes you feel hungry, is going to be gone.
Oh, wow.
So some people experience no hunger at all. And you have to force yourself. Force yourself. You have to eat on a schedule, or you can eat too little, and that's not healthy for you. I will be in the next month of April, I have 7 medical appointments. I have group nutrition that I have to attend. I have to meet with the psychologist and the doctor again. I have to meet with my nutritionist again. I have to meet with the surgeon again.
Wait a minute.
What?
I'm sorry, I was texting my son and then it dawned on me. How is he texting me?
He took his phone. Busted!
Sorry, he told me somebody was in the house. I said, no one's in the house.
So anyway, I'm going to be very busy.
Sorry.
I'm going to have the surgery. I have to stay in the hospital one day. So I'll have the surgery on a Tuesday and I will be released on Wednesday afternoon. Which is another thing that's different from Roux-en-Y. That requires a 3-day hospital stay. I think the day of surgery and 2 more days before they let you out.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So that's what's been going on with me. And I'm going to just be honest with you. I hesitated mentioning it to people, in part because there is a big stigma around weight loss with surgery and weight loss with medication assistance. There's a stigma around it. And I was talking to my friend Rachel last night about this. She's lost 50 pounds on her program. She's doing a program, too, where she lives. She doesn't live around here. You really suffer as a heavy person. I have medical issues I have a cancer risk that will be reduced if I lose this weight. And I have a heart disease risk that will be reduced, if not eradicated, by this weight. And that's just genetic. That's just the genetic component.
Right.
I want to be more active. I have young children who are very active, and I want to be able to go on hikes and go biking, and I just can't do that in this body. So anyway, you really are in a bad, like between a rock and a hard place if you're really heavy. There's a stigma if you're fat. People look at you funny. They judge what you eat. They make comments to you. And there's a stigma if you try to get medical assistance for weight loss because people say you're lazy, you're not trying to do it on your own, you're looking for a quick fix. So I just thought we should talk about it openly. I know that some people are going to judge this decision that I've made. And I know, even people that I know in real life, I've had a few comments. People are like, why would you do that? A few years ago, you were able to lose 50 pounds. And the reason is, a few years ago, I was physically able to lose 50 pounds, and I'm not now. And the problem with any kind of weight loss that's not like surgically assisted is that if you go off the rail for any reason, and in my case, I had a knee injury and I couldn't exercise anymore like I used to. I still ate the same, but I couldn't. You will gain that weight back plus 20. And that is the horrible trap of people that are overweight. And if you have a great metabolism and you're active and you're thin, you are so lucky. If you are heavy, you will know every time you lose a lot of weight, if you don't stick to that or if you get stuck and it starts to slide, it comes back fast. Right. And you always gain more because you've now reset your fatness to the next level. And the good thing about medical weight loss surgery is it will permanently reset my weight gain at a lower level. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be a size 2. And it doesn't mean that I won't ever get fat again, but it means I won't be able to get this fat. And it's not the lazy person's way out because I cannot even describe to you how much work it is. I am committing to a lifetime diet and I can't go off it.
Right.
My body won't let me go off it. I'm spending 6 months learning how to eat. And it just goes to show you, I'm eating the way they would want me to eat after the surgery, and I've lost 16 pounds in 6 months.
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, how you're eating really isn't any different than what you were eating when you were losing the weight the first time.
No, it really isn't. But I'm eating more, actually. I'm eating more vegetables. I have a problem where I don't eat a lot, and then one day I'll eat a bunch, and my body goes into, like, shutdown mode where I can't lose weight. It's just been really difficult. And the people at Mass General have been running this thing for 10 years. And I trust their judgment. And I'm happy with the decision I'm making. And I'm really excited about it. So I'm hoping that if there are other people out there who are considering getting assistance, I think you should check out medical weight loss programs. They usually have them at big hospitals. I mean, Sheila goes to one.
I go to one that's not as big as Mass General. It's more of a local hospital. It's
but they
Leahy
have
Clinic or Leahy Health or whatever it is. And I am doing medicine. I tried one. It wasn't working for me because my issue is different than Wendy's. I am more of an emotional eater. Trigger eating.
Right.
If I think of a food, I want it, and my mind.
She has a hard time stopping thinking about it.
And so I've talked to the doctor, and you do feel like I hate to say this, but you feel like you're a loser when you need help.
You do.
And the doctor that I have is fabulous. He doesn't make me feel like that. And he, even the minutest weight loss, he's like, great job. He gives you a hug. He's really supportive of it. And so we've discussed that the medication that I was on was not working. So we went on to a different one. And that one, you slowly work your way up to it. So I'm now at the full dose and I feel better. Last night I was able to sit and have a small amount of food. I'm trying to pick up my vegetable for a whole different reason.
Yeah.
I'm having other issues there.
I'm not.
And thinking about chocolate and not going for it. So I counted yesterday, it was one day, but it was a successful day where I didn't go for something I shouldn't have had. So it's slowly working, and we'll see how it goes. I'm feeling a little bit better. It's supposed to help with my energy. I haven't gotten there yet, but that might have something to do with the fact that I get up at 3:30 in the freaking morning. So it is, there is a stigma for it, even if, whether it's weight loss surgery or whether it's medical weight loss, people
judge
honestly,
you.
my husband doesn't know. My husband doesn't know that I'm on medicine for it because he is a type of person
who would judge
me. You should be able to do it on your own. I am
really lucky. My husband is fully supportive of this, and he was questioning it at first because he questions any kind of a medical thing. He did a ton of research into it. I had already been to the class. They make you take a class, and they make you take a class about all this stuff, not just weight loss surgery. Right. It's not like the only thing they do in that program is weight loss surgery. They have everything. And I will be followed by them probably for the rest of my life.
Oh, absolutely.
At least once a year going in to see them. It really stinks to be fat. You see all these commercials, get on Jenny Craig, get on Weight Watchers. Those things people don't seem to mind you doing. But medically assisted weight loss, people feel like it's not a magic bullet. Like, you don't get on a medication and immediately lose weight while still eating the same. It's a life change. You have to put in a lot of work. And I just think people should talk about it. And if you are in a situation, it wouldn't hurt to check out one of the programs, and maybe they all have like an introductory thing that you do where you can learn about what they do. You don't have to have surgery or take medication, but when a doctor has done blood work on you and a psychologist has talked to you, and then you see a nutritionist, they come up with a customized plan, because Sheila and I have completely different nutrition plans.
Yeah.
Completely different. And it's because we have completely different bodies, completely different issues.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be talking to her a little bit more too, because what worked for me 5 or so years ago may not work for me now. And that might be the problem that we're running into, because a couple of years, it was 5 or more years ago,
I did quite a bit of weight.
I lost, I think,
it was when I first met you,
60 or so pounds through the Medi weight loss, which is basically the Atkins diet, is basically what it was, where it was mostly protein. I can't do that this time because I'm having other issues because of my age. That has to come into factor of it. So we're going to talk. I've been trying to amp up my vegetables a little bit more.
I feel like all I eat is vegetables.
But, we talked about it, I think, last week, about how my doctor wants me to have 90 grams of protein, where yours...
40.
Yeah.
She wants me to stay under 40.
So, we'll see.
It's different, and that's because the programs, like, I'm not bashing Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or anything, but those are designed for the average woman.
Yeah.
Because they don't really have the medical expertise to customize them.
Right.
To you.
You're not, when you're going to a program, you're not going to a doctor. You're going to somebody who went through the program themselves and has been trained as basically a friend who's helping you.
Like a facilitator. Yeah. And the medical approach is completely different. They first rule out any physical problems that you might be having that are retarding weight loss.
I got tested on my thyroid.
Yeah, me too.
And I did not get medication right off the bat.
No. You have to go through a process. I didn't get my nutrition diet for like a month.
Yeah, it took a while.
It took a while. And they also told me the medications that I'm taking, and unfortunately, one of the medications that I'm taking that causes my retards weight loss, I don't want to go off it. It's my anxiety medication, and it works for me, and it's the only one that's ever worked for me. So I just have to live with that.
Right.
So that's another reason why they really thought that surgical would help, because it's something that it doesn't help. Tamoxifen doesn't help. No. The medical menopause does not help. I have like a bunch of strikes against me, but I'm excited to start this journey, and I hope that some people out there will at least think about talking to a doctor about weight loss if you feel like you want to lose and you're struggling. because there are new avenues out there. I'll admit it, I was prejudiced against medically assisted weight loss before I went to the program. Like when my doctor told me that, at first I was like, what? And I was thinking, I don't know. I'm going to check it out, but I don't know. And after I went to the introduction and I heard about all the research they've done and the different things that are coming up, it's very different than it was even 10 years ago. It's different. They have a lot more stuff. And my doctor is so conservative. I've been seeing my doctor since 96. So like half of my life, really. Right.
Oopsie.
And I know if he thinks it's good, that it must be good. Because he's very conservative. So I hope that by telling people this, it helps somebody get some help. And we can both say that we like our medical programs. We're doing different things and they've been working. Thank you. I know. He's such a nudge. And
kitty print. I do. I got a kitty print on my
paw print. You should check it out if you can. Don't be afraid. Don't let the stigma of it stop you.
And if you have a good doctor, they're not going to criticize you at all for asking. Actually, they'll probably praise you for wanting to take that step. And if you have a doctor that criticizes you, change
then
doctors.
You need to get a different doctor. And, obesity is, you can be healthy and obese until you're not. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm a relatively healthy obese person until then I have this cancer risk.
Right.
And now I'm not.
Or your knee surgery.
Or my knee surgery. And then all of a sudden I'm not, and it's.
Same with me. My husband makes... I'm putting my husband in a bad light. He is Chinese and everything's natural.
Yes, he has cultural...
And I shouldn't say that, I didn't tell him because he may judge me, but if I explain it to him, he'd be like, okay, if this helps you, fine. I shouldn't say that, but I was going to go off on something and I completely forgot.
About your husband.
I know, but I don't know where I was going with that. I don't know. My husband just doesn't understand. His thing is, well, just don't eat it. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't work.
Some people can do that. Some people can't.
And I will say, he didn't grow up with I want to say emotional attachment to food that we might have. He was in Vietnam and he was in refugee camps. So whatever food he got, they were happy with. So food was nutrition for him. It was not for, I had a bad day. I'm going to have a cookie. It's not a reward. Exactly.
It's not a comfort.
Right. So he does not have those issues and his body looks like he doesn't have those issues. So there's that. There was going to be something else that I was going with. I just don't want to throw him out into the bus like that. He has been supportive whenever I say I'm trying to eat well. And, when he sees that I'm doing well and I'm happy about it, he gets happy for me. So he is supportive. It's nice. I can see, it's funny because we talk about our kids and Max is, tall and thin. He is so my husband and my brother. And Zachary, even with his medical issues, is more like me. He is an emotional eater. I can see it now.
Yeah.
And it makes me worry because he's got different medical issues. And that's what I was going to talk about. I'm a healthy, overweight person. My husband teases me saying, oh, you're not healthy. I'm like, I'm healthier than you are. I'm not on high blood pressure medicine or high cholesterol medicine. The only thing is the doctor said, I was pre-diabetic and that was because of my weight. But other than that, I'm healthy. So you can be healthy and overweight.
Until you're not.
So
until you gain a certain 5 more pounds and all of a sudden you're diabetic.
Right.
Or until you get an injury and you have mobility issues.
Well, that's just, if I was to get an injury, that could make it 10 times worse. Like what happened with your knee.
Right. It's not something to fool around with, and I just hate that there's a stigma about it, and I hate that it's controversial to some people. It's not everybody, but it just puts you in a hard place.
Most insurance will support you because they'd rather support you lose weight than
deal with the consequences.
Diabetics and
Yeah, my insurance company has been very nice about it once they finally got all the paperwork.
Once they got it straightened out.
Once they finally got all the correct paperwork
But that wasn't their fault.
That was not their fault. But they even assigned me a nurse that I can call with questions who will be supervising my first year out. She's like not affiliated with the medical program.
She's affiliated with
the insurance company, and she's there if I have any questions or if I want emotional support.
Yeah, they did with the Zachary as well.
So, it's
nice to know that it's there.
It's a big step. So if you start seeing me after May losing a lot of weight, it's because I've changed my diet completely, and for a while,
lifestyle, basically.
And because of the surgery, for a while I will be having very low calorie foods until my stomach heals. And then after that, it'll just be me working with that new reset weight loss situation. So we'll see how it goes. I hope it works. I
know it will.
Secret worries that for some reason it won't work on me because it's a pretty major thing that I'm doing. I am removing an organ that I use every day.
Only a portion part of an organ, not a full.
It's hardcore, man. But I have to do it. I have to do it for my kids and for myself. I would like to be around for my grandchildren. And I don't want to let this get any worse than it already is. And, I haven't talked to my oncologist yet. I'm going to see her in a couple weeks. I'm going to ask her how much my risk will go down.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
If I get to it, it will go down. I want her to calculate it at my goal weight and see if I still need to take tamoxifen. So that was a big factor in it, just because of all the troubles I've had, and then my uncle dying of heart disease. He was only 12 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
It runs in my family. My grandfather died when he was 40. And my aunt has had 3 heart attacks.
This is your mother's side, right?
My mother's side of the family. All the crappy genetics comes from my mother's side of the family.
Mom.
Sorry, Mom. You know it's true, though.
That's funny.
But, yeah. So, anyway, that was a lot of talking, but I just thought it would be a good idea to have an episode on weight loss and support people who are maybe thinking of making a change. Any kind of a change. Consider doing it with a doctor who can find out the medical
Yeah, you might have
basis.
A medical problem. If you have a underactive thyroid, isn't that gaining weight? Or
underactive thyroid, there are a lot of things that can retard weight loss. And there are a lot of things that they can do to help you with weight loss. And seeing a nutritionist sounds crappy, but it's actually pretty good.
I like mine. She's been very nice, giving me helpful suggestions, giving you helpful ideas on how to eat things, giving you recipes. Again, they're not there to judge. They're there to help you.
I like mine too, and she asks me how I eat, and she basically, I don't eat badly, so she's like, we're just going to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, even when I tell them that I had this, they're like, well, why do you think you're having, the chips or whatever, why? They're not judging you, and the only thing I can't stress enough, be honest with them. Don't lie to your doctor. Don't. Because they're not going to be able to help you if you do.
No.
And as much as it sucks pain, I've been shoveling things in my mouth.
I had a whole container of ice cream.
They're trying to help you. Well, why are you shoveling things in your mouth?
Yeah, what happened?
Exactly.
What happened before this? What made you go to that? And with mine, she just said, where you're eating a cheese stick for a snack, I would have 2 cheese sticks for a snack. She would say, have 1 cheese stick and an apple. Cut down on that protein. Cut down on all the animal protein. I was having too much animal protein.
Well, that's funny.
So, and she told me it's okay to have whole grain bread because I was like, I never eat bread. And she was like, you can eat bread, just not, all day long.
5 slices.
So I have, a whole different thing that I do, and it's working.
And they'll work with you so our household is Chinese, or my husband is, and he grew up with white rice. And I told her, I said, white rice for my nutritionist. She goes, okay, just, cut the limit down. She goes, we'd prefer brown rice. And I'm like, I understand, but that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen in my house.
No, it's not how you eat.
No. And so last night I had a small cup worth with more vegetables and protein.
Another thing they do is they help you learn how to estimate serving sizes so that you don't have to weigh everything. Yeah.
This is a serving size of chicken. It's
Yeah.
like 3 ounces of chicken.
Yeah, right here.
And
And
then that's like a tablespoon.
yeah, there's like a tablespoon.
There's
They have a lot of little tricks and things that they show you, and they come up with an eating plan it's real food that you can live with. That's what they're there to do. They're not going to say to you, you can have a piece of celery. It's not going to be a starvation diet. It's going to be eating a lot of food, but that fills you up and is healthier.
Right.
So I'm glad that I told people this is my big coming out. Only a few people know about this, but it's been going on since November, so I feel much better now.
Good. I'm glad.
Do you have anything you'd like to say, Crunches and Heartbreak?
Not really. We've had some issues with Zachary that we're working on.
It's kind of a tough week.
It's been a tough week. He's just got a lot going on, and he's 12.
12 is
in
a
middle
horrible
school,
age.
and I'm getting calls from the school, and it's just hard. And I just it's the old adage where you're just like, hasn't this poor kid had enough? Hasn't this poor kid had enough?
That's how I feel about my son.
I know.
Different level, but it's like every time something new happens, it's like, really?
And I mean, I get it that mine has medical issues that are never going away. I get that. And I said to my husband, he was in the cardiac ICU in Children's. He already had a surgery. I think we might have gotten his chest closed because of fluid buildup. And I looked at my husband and I said, this is not done, even though he's fixed. This is not done. I said, we're going to be dealing with more stuff. Little did I know what we'd actually be dealing with. But you kind of just, I don't know.
You just roll with it.
You roll with it. He's got a lot of differences that he's trying to deal with. He doesn't understand why he's so different. I mean, there's certain things he understands, medical issues we try and discuss with him, and we've talked about how, you just don't see your friends take medication. But there's other things he doesn't know how to deal with.
He's got a lot on his plate.
And, and I keep telling him, you'll meet people, and he wants the hearing thing, so I got to talk to my husband. We haven't talked about it. It's kind of the white elephant in the room. And we got to sit down and talk about it because I have a feeling this might be part of it. It's very difficult, and my husband doesn't understand, and I don't fully understand either exactly how Zachary hears.
Right.
And, he goes, you sound like you. Well, what I hear me, or what Max hears me, may not be the same as what Zachary hears. This may be what he hears, but this is his normal.
Right.
So he thinks everybody's talking like this. And that's not the case. So we got to sit down.
And then when he gets the new thing, he will hear it. It will sound completely different than that, I think.
I think it would sound tinny, but I could be wrong on that.
But it would be significantly different, and it might be all of a sudden his normal hearing is like this new thing, and he has to adjust to that. Like,
oh yeah, the brain has to learn how to use it.
learn how to identify what's going on.
But the scary part is if he does get the cochlear implant, there's a high possibility that when he is not hooked up to it, there is no sound in that ear at all. And that's also something to get into. If anyone's had a cold and your ear gets blocked up, it sounds so weird because I talked to them about, why we aid his left ear. His left ear is better than his right. And the reason we aid his left ear, even though it's not aided that much, is for directional. So if he's talking, if somebody talks, I can tell that they're that way.
Right.
Where he may not. And so there's a lot going on. And the problem is we don't understand it. If we lived it, we'd understand it, but we don't live it. And I think I have to try and get my husband to understand what he hears now and the possibility of what he hears after. So that's me doing research maybe on YouTube.
Yeah.
What does a high-frequency person hear now? What does a cochlear implant sound like from someone? But again, a lot of cochlear implants are from people who've never heard before. So it's, again, completely different. Zachary, at least, which maybe this is his advantage, he knows what certain sounds are supposed to be like. to a certain extent.
Right. It might be easier for him to adapt to.
Right. And they think that's the case compared to somebody. But it's also, again, a commitment. You know, he would have to change his what am I trying to say? He would have to change his speech than what he's getting now. And that involves the school.
Yeah.
I mean, it's written in the doctors, they have to honor it, but they may give us a fight because they've just reduced something from him.
Yeah.
And the doctors have already said that if he gets this, 1-on-1, 2 hours a week.
Right. It's going to have to go back up.
Basically 4 times a week, because they usually do it half hour. You know, and they said, you know, we can do it here. We prefer not to. And, you know, but that's something that I would have to fight. The school hasn't given me any problems with it yet. I do have to talk to them about it. So if that's what we decide, then I'll hit that course of action. Because I'm not, if they decide no, I'm not going to say, well, no, we're not going to do it because they decide no. But I have to talk to my husband first about it. So, but, you know, unfortunately, he's a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, middle school. Speaking as, my daughter is the same age. Middle school has been sucktastic at best.
And I keep telling them, you know, the old adage, it'll get better, it'll get better.
When you're going through it,
sucks.
It doesn't help.
I hated middle school. I hated high school. No, it doesn't.
I loved high school.
You want it fixed like that, and it can't happen that way. It doesn't happen that way. And again, like, you know, we were talking earlier, you got to deal with certain coping strategies, and you know, not swearing at somebody because you're mad at them.
Yeah.
And, you know, getting your phone taken away because of it. But, so, other than that, work has kind of been interesting. I have been off-site for 3 days and semi-off-site yesterday. I started at the hospital and went to another place. And my coworker, Linda, who is currently acting as supervisor, pretty much flipped out. Mm-hmm. She was taking something that was not meant to be personal, very personal.
Oh, no.
Nothing major, but it was just about checking expiration dates, and we do that all the time. And she was thinking that the letter came over saying that we don't, and she was very upset. And she's like, I don't want this anymore. And if she's not there, nobody does anything, which that is indeed the case. She's done. She's done. And so she's ready to wash her hands of everything because nobody respects her.
That's hard.
You know, somebody already said, oh, you know, Linda's already sitting at, you know, my supervisor's desk. And it's like, well, she has the right to do that. You don't have the right to question it.
Right now.
If you have a question of it, don't talk behind her back. Go to our boss above it. So, and she misses me.
Well, yeah.
Because I get her back. I get her back. You know, I cover her back. And we were talking about coverage. And, you know, you can have all the people in the world, but if they're not strong people to do the coverage or the draws, then it doesn't matter how many people you have.
Right.
And unfortunately, a good percentage of our staff are not very, I don't want to say they're good phlebotomists, but they don't have the initiative to go out and get it.
Some people do their job. They do the minimum that they are required to do.
What's going on. And she likes people who take
initiative and pick up the slack.
But the problem is, and she's an enabler too. So instead of saying, hey, Joe Schmo, look at the board that needs to be done, she'll just grab it and do it. So she kind of lets them sit.
Right, because she doesn't probably want the confrontation.
Not even the confrontation. She doesn't want to be standing there listening to some of the drama chatter either.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's just, she's done, and I hope she goes. I'd like to say I hope she goes and has a drink, but that's not her style. The poor thing, I was trying to calm her down this week, and I'm like, just relax, it's okay. So, I mean, other than that, work is work, and I've been picking up off-site shifts because I don't want to deal with what's going in.
Yeah.
The problem with doing that is I get home later, and I think me and my other coworker think that might be part of the issue with Zachary
Yeah,
too. Is
he's
I need
missing
to be home.
his mom.
I need to be home more and guide him more. He is really not. I mean, he's capable of being home on his own in the sense of safety and stuff, but the social stuff he needs help with. So that's all that I got going on. Nothing special.
Well, gossip and innuendo. It's April, so there are some festivals coming up in
Is the
April.
Connecticut one in April?
Yes, Connecticut's at the end of April.
Oh,
I'm going to go to that. I don't know. You're working.
I'm working.
Diane has stuff going on. She's not sorry, but I'm just going.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, probably, because I won't be able to go to New Hampshire Sheep and Wool. I'm having my surgery like 3 days before that, and I don't think I'm going to feel like going.
Probably not.
So I'm going to miss out on some stuff in May because of my surgery. So I want to go. I wasn't planning on not going to any festivals in the spring, but that's kind of how it's shaping up right now. So I'm going to try to get in at least one while I can.
Do you think maybe Mass Sheep and Wool?
I'll probably be able to go to Mass Sheep and Wool. I'll just have to bring food with me because at that point I think I'm still going to be on a liquid diet. And I won't be able to just get lunch.
Try and find out when that Mass Sheep and Wool is. It's Memorial Day, isn't it?
Yeah, close
May 28th
by.
to 29th. I have that weekend off.
Ooh, well, we'll have to go to that. So there's that. We did draw a winner for the Masterpiece Knits. Remember that time I forgot to draw a winner? The winner is Knitter Chow. She was post number 33, the last post in the thread. That's the one that came up. And
random number generated, just so you know.
We use
Random.org is what I use.
And she will knit the Golden Landscape Mitts. So Knitter Chow, I will let the publisher know to send you a copy. And if you do end up knitting anything from it,
please let us
post in our group and let us know. It's fun. Somebody did that recently.
Yes, I saw that. They won. What was it they won?
I know what they won. I just can't think of the name of it.
They did a nice scarf. Was it the shawls?
It might have been.
Yeah, it came out really nice. It made me want to do it.
So that's it for the book review contest. And Sheila.
The Blue Moon Fiber Art. So just in case you guys aren't aware of how I do it, there's a way that you can pull up the thread with just the picture posts. And first off, I go to the regular post, see where the start of the month was, look at that post number, and I count down until the end of the month. And I do it through that. So there were 11 entries this month, so I did 1 through 11. And the winner was number 9. Skinouye? SkinouyE. Susan. She did some socks, and she posted, and I made a comment, she has these tags made out that you wrap around the pair of socks saying especially made for knit by or something like that. It was really cute, and I like that. I'm going to have to look into that. So contact me.
Yes, contact Sheila.
Yeah, contact me, and I'll let Pat Looney Hiker, who's sponsoring this month's pattern. It's $10 or less for a pattern of your choice. And then also contact me with your snail mail. I don't have it, but it's a needle holder.
A needle minder and a little stitch marker.
Yes. So please get in touch with me for your snail mail. And
see if I have that one. I don't, though.
What was I going to say? I already started a new thread. Not a new thread. I already posted that anything after that
is for the next month.
For the next month of April. And we'll do it again.
Oh my goodness, I'm tired. Also, we are now recording in HD. And I'm going to try doing it slightly differently because the last time when I recorded, the file was 5 gigabytes. And normally it's 500 megabytes.
Oh.
And even after transforming it, the smallest I could get it down to was 1.5 gigs. That's a lot of data. So we'll see. If you notice a sudden decrease in the crispness of our new video, it's going to be because I just don't have the time in my life to wait for that to upload.
No.
It took me, I think, 3 hours from the time, it's 3 or 4 hours to get it edited, uploaded, processed, everything, because it took forever to upload those files. So it's a big file. So, I mean, it seemed to work fine, so yay, but I I would rather be less sharp and not have to waste. Sorry, it's not really a waste of time, but it takes a lot of time. It's like a whole evening of me doing this. So I'll see what I can do. But anyway, I hope y'all have a great week.
We'll see you next week. Knit with Heart.
Bye.